Hello, today we're going to be talking about a Rolling Stones article that came out about Mafia 3 today, revealing not just information but a huge aspect of the game, which is the track list from the radio stations that we could listen to in the game, and a full list of all the songs within the actual game. So that is pretty awesome, seeing as we're going to find out the music before we even play the game. Seeing as when we played Mafia 2, I didn't have this much insight in the game before I played it, but I don't think they actually released the soundtrack before the game, but who knows. So let's have a look into it. But before we do that, I'm going to have a look at this part of the article. It's quite interesting, and it gives us some information about the game. An unusual narrative device, the game is framed as a tourist video being watched in 2016, so basically the whole game, like seeing as Mafia 1 was based around Tommy Angelo giving his testimony to Norman, who would later put him in a witness protection program and putting the Salieri behind bars, and Vito and Mafia 2 looking back on the events of Mafia 2 before the final events of Mafia 2 leading in whatever happened. And Mafia 3 is based around, like, all of the events of the game have already happened, and it's all being shown through a tourist video, seeing as one of the trailers showed you New Bordeaux and showed you around the city, seeing as it's got southern values and stuff like that. So it's going to show a lot of what Lincoln has done before we actually play the game, so we get, like, just to know what happened before we actually find out what actually happened, if that made any sense. But it's quite a interesting narrative, like it says, and it gives you a whole new insight, because the tourist videos won't have everything that actually happened on the videos, like the behind the scenes, seeing as John Donovan helps Lincoln, but we obviously don't know what he helped them with, and neither do the people who made the tourist videos. So let's get into it. There's nothing much I can really talk about the actual list, seeing as it's just names and the names of the artists. But I do think that we've got a good selection. I think I know about 30 songs that I listen to daily from the list, and I think I know about 50 or 40 songs altogether, due to, like, I've just known them throughout the years or hearing them on a film or an advert or something. Also, there's the songs, like there's a James Brown one on here. You probably won't know it from the name, but you'll know it if you listen to it. So there's a lot of them songs that you'll just know by instinct, but you just won't know the names from hearing them, like I just said, over the years. And yeah, it'll be a good experience just driving down the street and just hearing these songs come on the radio. Nothing can beat the Mafia 2 soundtrack, in my opinion, but this is really giving it a run for its money. I really think there's going to be, like, once again, like Mafia 2, there's going to be 3 radio stations, all different kinds of music, and as you can spot on the list, there's a couple of songs from the 50s, saying as, well, obviously, we're past the 50s, of course, but there's one particular song from Mafia 2 that's on there, called Long Tail Sally by Little Richard, and that'll obviously be on a radio station from the past, like the greatest hits from yesterday, some weird stuff like that. And obviously there's going to be songs from, like, the early 60s put on that radio station as well, and we'll have the soul and R&B station, and obviously we'll have the rock station that, like, the tunes or the songs from the present day. And it's kind of weird, but they've put the same songs on, but by different artists on the soundtrack. This is due to, like, let's just say, they're having, like, an intimate, like, kind of scene, like, 2 people are, like, really getting deep into the scene, and then after, well, the song's playing, a different version of the song will come on. Like, there's one called You Belong to Me by the Duprees, and there's one called You Belong to Be by the Misfits, and if you don't know who the Misfits are, they're, like, a really hard rock band, so obviously they want to, like, put that song on if it's an action scene, seeing as they put on, like, rock music for action scenes, they put on, like, soft music for, like, intimate scenes. But they've got both of them in the game, so you can listen to both songs in 2 different kinds of situations. But yeah, that was the track list. There's a lot of good songs on there, and I'm quite interested to learn some more songs because there's some songs, surprisingly, that I've never heard of. So I'll get to learn them over the coming weeks. And yeah, that's about it. Subscribe and like for some more, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Anyone that's got a scar on the chin, they're pretty old and they've got dark hair.